Hi, my name is Eric Wilson. I'm an independent licensed mechanic with 30 years of experience. In the next 6 to 7 minutes, I'm going to show you the inside story on this 2017 Ford Escape. Now, coming in on the front right tire, you got about 30% tread on all season radio, so down but definitely not out. Now, coming behind the front right tire, this is your outer tie rod, and that's the most important thing in the whole car because it holds the wheel to the steering and it is tight. This is your lower ball joint that holds the wheel to the chassis. It's tight, critical. This is your outer CV boot. Now, they're full of grease, and if it was ripped, you'd see it all over the place. So not ripped, and that's good. The inner CV boot is right here, a little hard to see. Yeah, see for yourself, good and dry. More importantly, behind it, it's a little hard to see there, but if it was leaking behind it, that's a leak point behind it, you would see oil all over inside there, and that is not leaking, so that is a good sign. In fact, I'm not seeing any leakage at the bottom of this motor or tranny at all. Now, this right here is your catalytic converter. Now, the big problem is that people are stealing these because they're getting $300 and $400 for scrap. And what they do, they reach under, they go cut, and you've lost a cat in about 5 minutes, and you're looking at about a $700 to $800 repair because these cats are just not cheap. Now, ask the dealer. He is prepared to put on a free catalytic theft protection system. All he does is refer you to me. I'll do it for you, and it doesn't cost you a dime. But make sure you ask, because it's way better for me to stop it than have to weld it in for you afterwards. Now, that's your that's your right sway bar link connected from there up to there. A little harder to see, but you can see it's intact, doing what it's supposed to do. Your front brakes, you've got about, I'd say about 25,000 K left on your front brakes, so lots of brakes, and looking good on the front right side. Now, this is your front right strut. Now, these things are full of oil. If it was leaking, it would be dripping all the way down there, and that's just surface rust there, so that's a good thing because it's not oil. Your front suspension on your right is good, so no issues with the front right that I can find. Now, on your right rear, this is the right rear shock, and again, it's full of oil. If it was leaking, you'd see it dripping all the way down there, and it is good and dry. Your rear brakes, you've got about 30,000 K on your rear brakes, so you got a good amount of brakes all the way around so far. And your right rear tire is you actually got about 60% tread on the front, on the right rear tire, as compared to 30%. I would be doing, if you're going to buy the vehicle, I would say this thing is rotate the fronts to the back, because you always want the best ones on the front. So the right rear sway bar link connected from there to there. Your right rear suspension is intact. Now, your right outer CV boot, if you see for yourself, full of grease. If it was ripped, you'd see it right away. Another shot of your shock there, and it's good and dry. Now, the inner CV boot is good and dry, and behind it, more importantly, is a leak point. A little harder to see there, but you can see the boot is not ripped, and more importantly, behind it is good and dry, because that is a leak point behind where the boot is there, and it's not leaking. It's good and dry. Okay, coming in on the front left tire, gain about 30% tread on all season radios, not as much as the rear. Coming behind the front right tire, again, brakes, you got about 40%, for about 40,000 K on your front brakes. You got lots of brakes on your front and back. Now, your left lower ball joint is good and tight, so no issue with that. Your outer CV boot, good and clean. Your inner CV boot is a little harder to see, but I'll get it for you here. Hang on, I get a different angle here. Yeah, there's your inner CV boot, good and dry. More importantly, if it was leaking, that's a leak point in there. If it was leaking, you see oil all over the place. So I am not seeing any leaks in this whatsoever. Your outer CV, your outer tie rod right here is good and tight. Yeah, things are looking really not too shabby at all with this car. Now, your left strut. Again, if it was leaking, you would see it dripping all the way down here, and it is good and dry. Your left suspension, good and tight. So far, so good. I actually Really like these escapes, by the way. I find them very dependable. Okay, your left strut, okay, your left shock, I should say. If it was leaking, you see the full of oil, you see leaking all the way down there. That is good and dry. Okay, your left sway bar link connected from here to here. Just another shot of your strut, good and clean. Your inner, the inner CV boot on the left side, good and dry. You would see it all over the house, to be greased all over here. More importantly, behind, good and dry, no oil. See? And then on the outer CV boot, again, intact, no issues. 40,000 K on your rear brakes, so you got a good amount of brakes. Very clean, actually. This is exhaust, everything is clean in this car. It's looking very well kept, very well maintained. Somebody actually cleaned it, which is not something that I'm guilty of, that's for sure. Okay, with the motor running, you've got 244,089K. No check engine lights. Your AC, oh yeah, nice and cold. No cracks in your windshield. Looking good looking dash here, clean. Your side view mirrors looking really good, nice and clear. Yeah. This is I can tell this has been well maintained. Now I'm going to do is take you out and show you the condition of the motor. Okay, 1.5 EcoBoost motor with a turbo. Very reliable motors. And not hearing anything of any concern on this motor. My experiences are that they're very reliable, lots of power, and good on mileage too. So motor wise, I'm not seeing anything of any concern. Okay, with the motor running and the exhaust, very, very clean. Now, what I need you to ask the dealer about is that he's prepared. I've got a fuel saving device I've used for 20 years, and it never fails, it never stops working, and it saves 10% consistently on whatever vehicle we put it on. And he's prepared to put it on there for free if you buy the vehicle. All you have to do is ask about it, request it, he'll send it to me, I'll put it on, it doesn't cost you a dime. I'll do the catalytic theft protection. Just ask the dealer, because purchase it, we're going to take care of you, we're going to protect your cat, and we want to save you fuel as well. Anyway, hope this helps you make an informed decision, and buy safe with Eric.